There's a moment after the storm when the silence feels unnatural. The air is too still. The body doesn't trust it yet. It keeps waiting for the next crash, for the next collapse, for the next wave that never comes. That's how healing begins. Not with peace, but with suspicion. Because after chaos, quiet feels like a trick. It feels like the calm is only hiding something worse. We stay half ready to run, even when there's nowhere left to go. And so the hour after chaos becomes its own kind of test. A quiet one, an invisible one. We want rest, but rest means feeling everything we've been outrunning. We want peace, but peace demands presence, and presence demands pain. So we sit there, somewhere between exhaustion and awakening, and try to remember how to exist without defending ourselves from life. There's a point where noise becomes identity, when the constant motion, the overthinking, the endless fixing and explaining becomes who you are. Silence threatens that, because if the chaos stops, who are you then? We build entire selves around surviving, and survival feels like meaning until the danger fades. Then we're left with an echo. The body is safe, but the mind doesn't know it yet. It keeps scanning the horizon for a threat that no longer exists. That's what trauma is. Not the event itself, but the continuation of it. The way your nervous system keeps reliving something that's already over. Healing, then, is not an act of forgetting. It's the slow education of your own body, teaching it that the world no longer needs your armor, and that teaching happens in stillness, in quiet, in the long, unguarded hour when nothing is required of you. Stillness is not passive. It's confrontation disguised as calm. When you stop moving, you meet what's been following you. All the unfinished grief, the half-buried memories, the quiet rage you never let surface. In the noise, they stayed drowned. In silence, they rise. And for a moment, you'll think the quiet made things worse. But that's only because healing looks like breaking at first. It looks like shaking, like insomnia, like tears you can't explain, like peace refusing to feel peaceful, because the mind doesn't release what it doesn't trust. And trust is built slowly, through proof that nothing bad happens when you stop. There's a kind of peace that doesn't arrive gently. It drags itself through wreckage to reach you. The kind that looks at what you've lost and says, we can still continue. The kind that doesn't erase what came before. It integrates it. You don't go back to who you were before the chaos. You become someone new, someone forged from it. That's the paradox of stillness. It rebuilds without movement. It restores without effort. You think you're resting, but beneath that quiet, a reconstruction is happening. Your body remembers how to breathe without bracing for impact. Your mind learns to let a thought finish without spiraling into war. And your heart, the part that's been clenching for years, finally lets go. Not because it stopped caring, but because it stopped fighting what is gone. We call it healing, but it's really a process of unlearning tension. It's the quiet rebellion of not performing pain anymore. You stop trying to prove that you've survived. You just live. You stop chasing redemption. You let being alive be enough. The infinite you were running toward was never elsewhere. It was this, the moment that doesn't demand anything of you. It's the hour where existence alone is proof of victory. Stillness doesn't mean absence of motion. It means the motion has purpose again. When you've been living in chaos long enough, you start to move for the sake of survival, not direction. Like a ship turning circles just to stay afloat. The quiet hour breaks that loop. It asks you to stop rowing, to let the current hold you. And that's terrifying, because it feels like surrender. But surrender isn't giving up. It's giving back the weight that was never meant to be carried forever. Giving back the control you built from fear. Giving back the version of yourself that only knew how to fight. There's something sacred about exhaustion, the kind that empties you completely, because only then do you see what was extra, what was noise disguised as purpose. You see how much of your suffering came from refusing to pause. We confuse endurance with strength, but endurance without awareness is just self-abandonment. You can survive anything if you stop demanding that survival look graceful. You can rest without earning it first. You can breathe without explaining why you deserve to. Every storm ends with debris, and people rush to clean it, to fix it, to make it look like nothing happened. But healing asks for something slower. It asks you to sit in the wreckage a little longer, to notice what survived, to notice who survived. You, still here, still breathing, still capable of noticing beauty, even with a heart half in ruins. That noticing is sacred work. It's the proof that consciousness persists even after despair. It's the whisper that says, this moment still belongs to you. When you stop rushing to rebuild, you start listening. And in that listening, you'll find small things returning. The sound of wind through a window crack, the pulse of your own hands, the rhythm of your thoughts slowing down enough to sound almost like kindness. This is not enlightenment, it's re-entry, the return to the ordinary after the extraordinary has broken you, the rediscovery of simplicity as salvation. You begin to understand that maybe peace was never about removing the noise, but about no longer identifying with it. In the quiet hour, time moves differently. Minutes stretch. Memories float to the surface, some gentle, some unbearable. And you realize healing is not linear. It loops. It doubles back. It tests whether your peace can survive another reminder. Some days it won't. Some days peace will shatter again. That's not failure, that's rhythm. Because silence too breathes. It expands and contracts. It holds you and releases you. And every return to quiet, no matter how many times you break it, makes the silence less foreign. Stillness has a sound, not absence, but presence stretched thin, the hum of being alive. If you listen long enough, you'll start to hear yourself beneath the static, the real voice, the one that never yelled, the one that didn't need to. It's the sound of you before you learn to perform, before the world convinced you that peace had to be earned through chaos. This voice doesn't speak in goals or affirmations. It speaks in recognition. It says, "I'm still here," and that's all it needs to say. Healing after chaos isn't about becoming calm. It's about remembering that calm was always available. The world teaches urgency. The infinite teaches patience. And somewhere between the two, you remember how to exist without fighting the moment. It's not detachment, it's reconnection. Not spiritual escape, but human re-entry. You realize the infinite isn't above you or beyond you. It's within every breath that doesn't need a reason. It's in the hour you give yourself when the world demands your productivity, but your soul demands pause. There's a part of you that will always crave noise. That's normal. The mind longs for patterns it understands. Chaos feels familiar. So when peace arrives, you'll question it. You'll poke at it like a wound. You'll wonder how long it will last. But peace isn't fragile. It's patient. It waits for you to tire of suspicion. And when you finally do, it will still be there, unimpressed by your doubts, but endlessly willing to hold you anyway. What's strange about quiet is that it doesn't need to prove itself. Noise justifies its existence by being loud. Silence just is. You can't perform it. You can only fall into it. And once you do, you realize how much life you've missed while trying to fix the world's volume. The infinite was never somewhere else. It was always in the pause between thoughts, in the inhale before the next sentence, in the still frame between two storms. If you stay long enough, you'll start to notice the quiet loving you back, not with words, not with comfort, but with permission. Permission to stop explaining your pain. Permission to stop narrating your worth. Permission to exist without purpose for a moment and still call it living. That's what it means to heal. Not to return to the old self, but to finally meet the one that was buried underneath survival. The body learns last. It takes time to trust that peace isn't dangerous. So let it take time. Let your muscles twitch when things go silent. Let your breath stutter when the world slows down. Let the ghosts pass through without fighting them. This is how stillness wins. Not by overpowering the chaos, but by outlasting it. The storm eventually gets tired. The silence never does. And then one day, you wake up, and the quiet doesn't feel empty anymore. It feels alive, like the space itself is breathing with you, like the air has memory, like the light understands. You realize the chaos didn't destroy you. It carved you open wide enough for peace to enter. The quiet you once feared has become the only place that feels real. This is the hour after everything, the hour that rebuilds what noise once erased. No revelations, no commandments, just the sound of existence relearning its rhythm. And somewhere inside that rhythm, a small, steady voice repeats, "You made it. You're safe now. Stay a while. Let the quiet hold you until you remember. You were never meant to live in noise forever."